I doubt you're gonna see this video, but I still hope that helped. Get my vibes, okay? Hello, this is Am I in Mode. I'm here to say I'm going to be reading Am I the Asshole Reddits today. So if you're ready, buckle up and let's get to it. Am I the asshole for getting engaged after my brother's wedding? Or not at, but after. Okay, let's see. Edit, paraphrase some direct quotes, and remove some potentially identifiable info. My brother and his now wife got married 3 days ago. A very small destination ceremony after 15 people total. Under 15 people total. That's very small. Now my fiance and I intended our trip after everyone went home and spent a couple days exploring the Grand Canyon, a couple hours north of the wedding where he proposed. When I shared the news with my brother and now sister-in-law, he responded with hostility, saying that it looked like we were competing. I apologized quickly, realizing that he was advocating for my sister-in-law and that she felt hurt, although I'm truly failing to understand why. I also texted her a separate apology and explained that it is not our intent to encroach, and I've never heard of encroach before, and just wanted to share the news with family, and that it's my belief that there's room for happiness for everyone. She did not respond. In response to my apology, my brother doubled down and said the timing and location were hurtful and that we shouldn't have planned around the wedding. So I'm confusing. So this wasn't after the wedding. This was pretty much during, because they're at the same place where they had the wedding, just a couple hours north of the wedding. Okay. In my opinion, I feel like if you're ever going to propose at or around a wedding, I guess, you really should talk to the people who are getting married first, like the wife and the husband and whatnot. So, this person wasn't the one that proposed, I don't think. I think it's the other person that proposed. Yeah. Yeah. Your fiance proposed. So I feel like that person should have asked your brother if it was okay to do that. Like, I'm not saying that you are an asshole. I'm definitely not saying that. But I am saying that weddings are such a big, momentous occasion that you really should think about who you're around and think about what they would want. And I think it would have been better if your fiance asked your brother or your sister-in-law if they could do that, because you were still at the location where the wedding was. Well, apparently a couple hours north. I don't think anybody in here is the asshole. I'm just saying, I think maybe, like, well, not next time, because you're not going to get proposed to again unless this one fails. Sorry, that's me. But I'd say, just to keep in mind, it would have been more respectful had your fiance asked your brother. That's all. I'd say a good conversation can go a long way with you and your brother and your sister-in-law and your fiance all together talking about how, hey, I didn't mean to intrude. I just, well, you didn't do anything. It was your fiance. But, like, something like that. Am I the asshole for walking out on Christmas? I am not a very social person, and the holidays can be very taxing. My extended family is in town from all over the world, and for the past month, they've all been here. It's the biggest gathering in recent memory. Every day, there's a big group activity or meal with the family. Myself and my husband work full-time at a very stressful job, and we are experiencing financial issues. So we were expecting to join family functions while continuing to work, and we only had a few days off for Christmas. I try to set boundaries, but honestly, it's difficult because I'm the oldest of my siblings, and I feel a lot of obligation and pressure. Yeah, I'm the youngest, so I don't know that part. My husband has been on and off reacting strangely. Sometimes he's in a terrible mood and doesn't want to talk or engage. When he's like this, he is impatient with me and doesn't want to hear me vent about family or anything I might be upset about. Other times, he seems okay. I know he's missing his own family. They live in another country, and we made the choice not to fly to see them this Christmas because of finances. Last night was Christmas Eve, and the entire family is meant to unwrap gifts together. It's a tradition. My family, too. On my mom's side, we unwrap gifts on Christmas Eve, not on Christmas. It's a tradition. On the way there, I take my younger cousins and husband to get ice cream. I get some for my mother, too. When we get to the house, my mother immediately asks where the rest of the ice cream is and blames me for not getting enough for the entire party, although she knew I was going to the ice cream shop and hadn't clearly asked me to. She just expects me to know these things. I freaking hate that. Not everybody, I'm sorry, but a lot of people just expect you to know what's going on in their head. You're like, oh, well, you should have known that this would have pissed me off, or something. Like, I'm experiencing something like that with my mom right now. She's like, you should know that I needed help bringing stuff upstairs. And I'm like, how the hell am I supposed to know these things unless you communicate them? So I do think maybe, like, in her mind, your mom's mind, you should have thought about the other people, but you're not doing well financially. So she should have just openly asked if maybe you wanted some money to do that, or asked if you wanted to do that in general. So she just expects me to know these things. I don't understand why people do that. Everyone starts avoiding me. Which is generally what happens when my mother and I get like this. For them, it's less drama with me being the scapegoat because it happens so often anyway. I'm wandering around, and my husband is in another room, entirely talking to my younger cousin and brother. He says to me that what my mother did was messed up, but there's so many people in there, and I'm feeling socially anxious and tapped out, so I can't properly respond. I say I'm feeling overwhelmed, and I want to go somewhere quiet with him. I want to say more, but my husband is in a strange mood again and doesn't wait to let me finish. He decides to leave me instead and play a game with the cousin across the room. I'm feeling totally isolated at this point. By the time my husband comes back, I'm at my breaking point, and I need to leave the house. I tell him that and walk out without him, and I actually go home. Feeling alone in a huge social gathering where everyone is avoiding me and where I've been publicly shamed is the worst feeling. Eventually, I go back, but it's hours later, and everyone acts like nothing happened except for my husband. He says I crossed the line, and he's not talking to me. Am I the asshole? Oh. Oh. I don't see anywhere where you would be the asshole. Maybe not getting ice cream for everybody, but no one told you to. And you didn't have to get ice cream for your mom either. You just decided to be nice and get one for her. Um, I don't see where you'd be the asshole. I kind of feel bad because like your husband wasn't really respecting how you're feeling, and you had to go off alone. But I completely get wanting to be away from people when you're overwhelmed. I'm not like I am 100% sure I'm autistic. um, I that's a long story, but when I get overwhelmed, I don't go nonverbal. I just either just space out a little bit or I talk too much. And if that was me in that moment, I probably would have done the exact same thing where I'd walk out. I'd probably do like a little breathing exercise first to see if I can stay. But if I just literally can't stay, I would walk out too. Um, I don't know how far away you live compared to this place, and considering you came back hours later, it might not have been very close. But honestly, I wouldn't have left the whole house. I would have just gone somewhere private. Like if there were multiple bathrooms, I would just lock myself in one of the bathrooms or like go to a different room or something. But I don't think you're the asshole like at all. So I think this is just a stressful time for so many people, especially neurodivergent people. And it's just not easy to be around so many people for so long. And a lot of the people don't even like respect you. At least that's in my case. I don't have a lot of respect. So you are not the asshole. Absolutely not. So yeah, I hope that helped. I doubt you're gonna see this video, but I still hope that helped. Get my vibes, okay? With the holidays here, my family opened our Christmas presents a little early. Mom got the item I asked for, but it wasn't the color I wanted. I told her I don't like browns. The color of the purse came in. And I know I upset her, but I really hate the color of the purse she got me. I kind of. I I am all for people returning their gifts to the store. I'm not a person that would do that. I would just like keep it or regift it or something. But I would never tell the person who gave me the item that I didn't. I I don't know if that's just a me thing, but I just really don't like confrontation, and I really don't want anybody to feel bad. So if somebody gave me a gift that I really don't like if it's the wrong color or something, I would never tell. And then if they ask me about it later, I'd be like, yeah, I loved it. Or like I might have lost it, even though I might have given it away. Um, I would never tell the person who gave me the gift that I don't like. Especially if you were in front of a lot of people, not just your mom, and you're like, oh, I don't like brown. Yeah, I agree. You are not nice in this scenario. Like that it now shows what the overall is. Somebody said like overall it says everyone sucks. So let's see what this is. Am I the asshole for telling my mom to tell her boyfriend to stop telling me what to do? He's telling like 3 times. Anyway, I, 20 female, have been starting to get really annoyed by my mom's new boyfriend. At first he was cool, but now I feel as though he is overstepping. My parents got divorced only a year and a half ago, and my mom and her boyfriend have been together for roughly 6 months now. Of course, I'm happy that she found someone new, but his actions are bothering me. It started after she told him about an argument we had, and he randomly told me to be grateful to those around me. During my teenage years, my mom and I would argue a lot, but it's nothing out of the normal mother-teenage daughter conflict. I'll admit I do still have a bit of resentment towards her for some of the things that she has done/said, but I am working on it with therapy. We are good for the most part, but sometimes we will have an attitude, and I will have an attitude back at her, which she probably told him and prompted him to say that. Either way, though I think it is none of his business the arguments I go through with my mom. The next thing that bothered me was on Thanksgiving when I was upset because of an argument with my boyfriend and I needed extra time to collect myself before going down to the table. My mom called me over the phone and to come, and I didn't go immediately. But I said, give me a few more minutes. It was then when I got a knock at the door and I said, "Who is it? Please don't come in right now." And her boyfriend burst through the door anyway and kept telling me to come downstairs right now. That rubbed me the wrong way completely, and I was even more upset and hated being downstairs after that. The last thing that happened with him was this evening when we went out to eat for Christmas Eve, and we had all finished eating, so I slipped away to the bathroom to check my phone. My boyfriend was asking me about something important, so I continued replying. When I got back to the table, there wasn't even 1 minute of me still being on the phone, and he told me to put it away. And I said I will, and continued to text because I was aggravated. My parents raised me to have manners, and they never banned me from using my phone completely at the table. Just not excessively, which I knew not to do anyway. And that was not what I was doing. The rest of the time, I just stayed quiet and couldn't wait to go home. When I got home, I told her to tell him to stop telling me what to do, which she replied, "You tell him," and she seemed mad. From what I gather, you've only known him for 6 months. You are 20. You are not a child anymore. Teenage you is different from. Oh, wait. Okay, so I guess 6. How are you. Wait, how does he know about you when you were a teenager? If it was only 6 months. I don't know. I don't get that part. But, you as a teenager shouldn't matter about you now. You are pretty much a different person. Teenagers are to begin with. But you are a different person now, and he should respect that. And if you say you weren't using your phone excessively, then he shouldn't have even bothered with that either. You were just texting your boyfriend. But I do understand how, like, certain families at the dinner table, my family used to be this way, like, if we go out to eat, but when we're at home eating, it doesn't matter if you have your phone out. But I know that certain families have stricter rules about that. Like, some families even have them all put their phone face down, stacked on top of each other, like, right on the table. And I don't hate that. I think it's a good idea. But I think if you were just texting your boyfriend real quick, I understand why you didn't want to put it away. And I feel like this person is just really in the business. And I do not like how your mom said you tell him, because it's her boyfriend. He's the one bothering. Like, sure, maybe you could ask him, but do you think that's going to stop him? You need somebody who actually is on the same level as him to try to stop him. So she should have just been all like, "Okay, I'll ask him," unless there's something hidden beneath the surface that all three of them need to talk about together. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Let me see what the comments say. ESH? I don't know what that means. "You are an adult. Speak up. If she won't say anything, then you need to. Next time he meddles in your family business, remind him that he is your mother's boyfriend and he needs to mind his own business. That, unless you ask for his opinion, he needs to keep them to himself. And if he complains to your mother, she will need to speak up." Yeah, because he probably, like, if you did go talk to him, he probably would complain to your mother. So she has to be on the same page, too. You were 20 years old. Why are you acting like a child? Stand up for yourself. He's not your parent, and even if he was, you are an adult. You can be respectful, but definitely set boundaries with him. Not sure why he's being so parenty after 6 months, and you being 20. I agree with that, but I also think it's kind of harsh saying, "Why are you acting like a child?" That's kind of rude. But, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this video anyway. I hope you guys learned something. I hope if those people who did write those things saw this video, I hope you got some clarity. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Mini Mo, signing off. Bye.